You're here for a reason. Right now, within your own body, there's a dormant portal, a biological gateway nestled deep inside your skull that most people never discover. This isn't some abstract metaphysical idea. It's a tangible physiological mechanism that ancient wisdom keepers knew about, used and revered to dissolve mental chaos and initiate healing on a deep level. This isn't speculative thinking. Modern neuroscience has finally confirmed what these ancient masters intuitively understood. In a moment, I will guide you to the exact location of this hidden portal. I'll show you the precise method to activate it in under 60 seconds. And most importantly, I will explain why this single practice can erase your anxiety like flipping a switch, turning it off instantly, as if it were a radio you can silence with the push of a button. But there's something you need to know. There's a very specific sequence required to make it work. Without it, you're just touching your skin and nothing changes. So stick with me, because the seventh revelation I share with you today will fundamentally alter how you experience your body. Before we dive deeper into this powerful process, pause for a moment and comment, "I am ready to awaken." This small gesture connects you to the journey ahead. Thomas Edison once said, "The physician of tomorrow will give no medicine, but will instruct his patient in the care of the human frame, in diet, and in the cause and prevention of disease." What he was pointing to is a revolutionary idea. You already possess the tools you need to heal yourself, not through drugs or treatments, but through the care of your own body. You carry within you an internal reset mechanism, a biological command center that, when activated, can dissolve anxiety and unlock crystalline clarity at a moment's notice. This is not poetic language. It is grounded in verifiable physiology that the ancients understood, and that our modern consciousness has forgotten, drowned out by the endless static of constant stimulation. The access point to this mechanism is not some exotic external practice or foreign substance. It is encoded into your very physical form, waiting to be activated by a precise signal. This gateway is located at a very specific anatomical site, a biological switch that has been kept dormant by the chronic tension and mental overload we all experience. Most of us don't even know this gate exists. The mere fact that you're here reading this indicates that your awareness is beginning to reconnect with your body's innate ability to reclaim control over your inner state. So let's begin the journey to awaken this power. The first step in this process takes you to a very specific convergence point in your body. It's located where your spinal column meets the base of your skull. Ancient systems that map the human body's energy channels recognize this spot as the doorway to stillness and self-generated healing. Think of your nervous system as an intricate control room where this single point functions as the primary circuit breaker. With just a gentle touch on this spot, you can shift from the survival mode of constant stress to the restoration and calm your body craves. The wisdom behind this knowledge has been largely lost in our modern world, but it's now being rediscovered. The ancients knew that certain points on the human form were not random. They were designed to serve as access channels to regulate the autonomic nervous system. The simplicity of this wisdom is exactly why it's been ignored. Too simple, too direct, and thus dismissed. We exhaust ourselves looking for complex solutions when the answers may already be wired into our biology. The truth is, you carry the most advanced self-regulation technology known to humankind. You simply need to remember how to activate it. Stress, sleeplessness, and fatigue in your nervous system are like an internal alarm that never shuts off. Right now, we are going to locate the switch that silences that alarm, returning you to a state of balance and coherence. Discovering where this switch is located is just the first step. The real work lies in learning how to activate it correctly. If you know where to find it, the next step is understanding the sequence of actions needed to transform a simple touch into a powerful healing signal. Most teachings on this subject fail to mention one crucial thing. It's not just about knowing where the gateway is. It's about how you engage with it. The ancient practices that describe this point were transmitted from teacher to student, passed through lineages of masters. They weren't just practicing ancient rituals. They were tapping into a profound physiological mechanism that we have nearly forgotten. To find the location of this biological switch, you don't need ancient scrolls, sacred geometry, or external guidance systems. The map is already inside you, encoded in your body's physical structure. This missing circuit breaker lies at a junction point where the rising current of energy through your spine meets the vast field of consciousness inside your skull. It forms a bridge between physical matter and energetic awareness, a connection between body and mind. Ancient cultures that studied the human energy body treated this spot as one of the most sacred access points to regulate vitality and balance. In traditional Chinese medicine, this location is known as the governing vessel 16, or Fang Fu, which translates to wind mansion or palace of wind. The name itself carries a deep practical significance. The ancient practitioners believed that external forces, especially cold winds, could invade the body through this point, leading to illness, muscle stiffness, and headaches. They knew that protecting and stimulating this spot was vital for maintaining health and preventing disease. Think of this spot as the gatekeeper to your energetic fortress, protecting you from harmful external forces and ensuring that only beneficial frequencies flow through your system. For Taoist practitioners and those who studied qi cultivation, this point held even deeper significance. They recognized it as the central hub for qi, or life force energy. Blockages here could manifest as mental fog, emotional heaviness, and an overall sense of fatigue. But activating this spot was believed to open an internal gateway, allowing vital energy to surge up into the brain, enhancing clarity, memory, and mental sharpness, while promoting calm and lucid presence. Now let's move into the practical application of this knowledge. The location is simple to find, but it requires careful attention to detail. Sit upright or stand with your spine elongated to allow the free flow of energy through your central channel. Bring one hand behind your head and gently slide your index or middle finger down the center of your neck. Follow the midline starting from the crown of your head. When your fingertip reaches the base of your skull, you will feel the solid bone of your skull. Just beneath it, before you reach the vertebrae of your neck, there will be a soft, hollow depression. This is the spot. You've found the gateway. This subtle hollow is your target point, the gateway to calm, relaxation, and vitality. This precise spot has been recognized for millennia by lineages of wisdom keepers. By placing your awareness and touch on this spot, you connect with a tradition of knowledge that has endured through generations. You are tapping into one of the body's most well-protected secrets, a biological switch that has been off for far too long. But here's the key: modern neuroscience has finally caught up to ancient wisdom. The science behind what happens when you stimulate this point is nothing short of remarkable. When activated, this spot can shift your nervous system from a state of tension to one of profound calm within moments. It's not just ancient tradition at work. It's modern science confirming what the ancients knew through direct experience. Now we come to the most crucial step: learning how to engage the activation mechanism. Finding the spot is step one, but simply touching it isn't enough. To unlock its full potential, you must engage the body's internal mechanisms in a very specific way. The secret lies in synchronization. Activating this spot isn't about force, it's about harmony. It's a ceremony of reconnection, a wordless conversation between your conscious awareness and your autonomic nervous system. This conversation requires a precise combination of pressure awareness and conscious breathing. Here's how you begin. Find a comfortable seated position with your spine naturally upright. Close your eyes briefly, drawing your attention inward, away from external distractions. Place your fingertip once again on the Fang Fu point. Don't do anything yet, just rest your finger there. Acknowledge that you're touching a portal. This is where the practice begins. The activation protocol consists of 3 synchronized stages. 1. Inhalation. Begin by slowly drawing a deep, full breath through your nose, feeling your lungs expand completely. 2. Awareness. As you inhale, focus your attention on the point you're touching at the base of your skull. Feel the connection between your fingertip and this subtle area of your body. 3. Exhalation. Slowly exhale, letting go of any tension as you release the breath. With each exhale, feel a wave of relaxation spreading through your body. Repeat this cycle, moving deeper with each round into a state of calm presence. Over time, your nervous system will begin to recognize this pathway, retraining itself away from chronic activation and toward tranquility. This is just the beginning. Through consistent practice, you will awaken this powerful biological mechanism and unlock the profound healing potential that lies dormant within you. As you begin your practice, start with the first phase, inhalation. As you breathe in, apply steady, deliberate pressure to the specific point at the base of your skull with your fingertip. Imagine you're pressing a button that requires sustained engagement. The pressure should be firm, intentional, but never painful. You should feel as though you're trying to reach something beneath the surface, gently working past the outer layers of skin and muscle. Hold this pressure as your lungs fill completely, creating a clear and focused energetic connection to this point. Stage 2 is the retention phase. Once your lungs are full, hold your breath for about 3 to 5 seconds. During this pause, continue to apply consistent pressure on the spot. This is where the real magic happens. This is the critical juncture where the signal, the body's inner command, is transmitted and received by the nervous system. The pairing of breath retention with sustained pressure heightens internal receptivity, activating a direct connection to the body's deeper systems. If you wish, you can add small, gentle, circular motions with your fingertip during this breath hold. This can deepen the stimulation, almost as if you are tuning into a specific frequency within your body, dialing into that subtle, energetic signal. The final phase is the release. Slowly exhale through your mouth, gently and steadily. As you release the breath, simultaneously begin to release the pressure from your finger. Sync your physical release with the emptying of your lungs. As you exhale, allow the tension to dissolve, flowing outward with the air leaving your body. By the time you finish your exhale, your fingertips should rest lightly on the point, no longer applying pressure. Repeat this full cycle. Inhale with pressure, breath retention, and exhale with release, a minimum of 5 times. Each cycle compounds the effect, reinforcing the new neural pathways you're establishing. Through this rhythmic process, you are teaching your body to move from a state of emergency response, where your nervous system is in overdrive, into a mode of restoration and recovery. This method is more than just relaxation. It is a deep reprogramming of your body's response to stress and anxiety. But what exactly is happening inside your body and mind when you perform this practice? The answer lies in a fascinating intersection of ancient wisdom and modern science. What mystics and sages referred to as the flow of energy or spiritual activation is now being understood in terms of biological processes that can be measured and verified by contemporary neuroscience. The immediate calm you feel when you activate the governing vessel 16-point is not just an imagined sensation. It's a real neurological event. This specific location at the base of your neck isn't arbitrarily significant. It was designed by evolution to function as a gateway to one of the most critical regulatory structures in your body, the vagus nerve. The vagus nerve is the longest cranial nerve, extending from the brainstem down through the torso, connecting directly to the heart, lungs, digestive organs, and many other vital systems. This nerve is the command center of your parasympathetic nervous system, which governs the rest, digest, and restore functions in your body. It works in direct opposition to the sympathetic nervous system, the part of your body that is activated during times of stress, danger, or anxiety, triggering the fight or flight response. This response floods your body with stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline, accelerating your heart rate, shallowing your breath, and tensing your muscles as your body prepares for action. When you're stressed or anxious, your sympathetic nervous system is running in overdrive. Your body enters a heightened state of alertness, making it difficult to relax, think clearly, or access a sense of calm. This is where the governing vessel 16-point comes into play. By applying pressure to this specific anatomical location, you are effectively sending a direct signal to the vagus nerve, instructing it to step in and initiate recovery protocols. The signal that travels along the vagus nerve tells your body that it is safe and that it can begin to recover. In response, your vagus nerve releases a neurotransmitter called acetylcholine, which acts as your body's natural tranquilizer. Acetylcholine has a profound calming effect on your body. It slows your heart rate, providing a sense of physical relaxation, and reduces systemic inflammation throughout your body, a major consequence of chronic stress exposure. By activating the governing vessel 16-point, you are literally reprogramming your body's stress response. This action is akin to applying the brakes to a car that's been speeding out of control. You are shifting from the fight or flight mode, which keeps you in a state of heightened stress, into the restorative, calming state governed by the parasympathetic system. This is known as enhancing vagal tone. Higher vagal tone is associated with better stress resilience, quicker recovery from stress, and improved cardiovascular health throughout life. By regularly stimulating the governing vessel 16-point, you're essentially engaging in resistance training for your vagus nerve, strengthening your body's ability to regulate itself in the face of stress. Over time, this practice helps you transition out of survival mode and back into a state of equilibrium and calm with increasing speed and efficiency. The effects of this practice are often noticeable within 60 seconds. Your breath deepens and slows. Your shoulders begin to relax and drop. Your mind quiets and a profound sense of peace begins to emerge from within. This isn't a forced or artificial calm. It's a genuine shift in your biochemistry, a natural return to your body's baseline state of balance. This shift takes place at the cellular level, altering the way your body responds to stress and allowing your nervous system to settle. The impact of this practice doesn't stop at calming your mind and relaxing your body. As your vagus nerve is activated, it initiates a flood of liberated energy throughout your system, unlocking a wave of vitality that moves through your body in a new, harmonious pattern. This sensation often begins as an immediate physical relief, like an invisible weight lifting off your shoulders. The chronic tension that is built up in your neck, shoulders, jaw, and upper back begins to dissolve. But this release of physical tension is only the surface level of what is happening. Beneath the surface, you are awakening and liberating your vital life force energy. This energy, known by different names in various traditions, Qi in Chinese medicine, prana in Vedic practices, or Ki in Japanese traditions, is the animating force that sustains all living organisms. Under chronic stress and anxiety, this energy becomes obstructed and stagnant. Think of it like a river whose flow has been blocked by a dam. Stress, muscle tension, shallow breathing, and an overactive mind all create barriers that prevent the natural flow of life energy. The result of this blocked energy is persistent fatigue, mental fog, emotional heaviness, and a lack of vitality even when you've had enough rest. But with consistent practice, you can begin to dissolve these blocks, allowing the free flow of energy to return to your system. The more you engage in this process, the clearer and more vibrant your energy will become. You are reconnecting with your body's deepest sources of vitality and strength. What you're doing is not merely a mental exercise. You're engaging in a physical and energetic practice that reprograms your nervous system, relieves stress, and awakens your inherent life force. It's a practice that over time will transform the way you experience the world in your body. When you activate the governing vessel, 16-point, and restore balance to your nervous system, you are effectively opening the floodgates of an internal dam. The energy that has been trapped within your upper body, constantly feeding anxiety loops and circular thinking patterns, begins to flow freely throughout your system once again. It's as though the tension that has been building up for years is suddenly allowed to release. In that moment, the breath, now originating deeply from your diaphragm and belly, functions as a hydraulic pump, circulating this renewed energy throughout every region of your body. This breathing rhythm is no longer shallow or constricted, but full, deep, and nourishing. Blood circulation increases and optimizes, ensuring that more oxygen and essential nutrients reach every single cell, including the billions of neurons in your brain. This is why individuals who practice this technique consistently report experiencing a paradoxical state, feeling simultaneously calm and energized. This feeling of balanced vitality is fundamentally different from the energy generated by stimulants like caffeine or refined sugar, which often lead to jittery activation followed by an inevitable crash. The energy accessed through this practice, however, is serene, focused, and sustainable. This energy is your own essential life force, the one that was previously being drained by your body's need to maintain a constant state of hypervigilance. Now it is redirected toward vitality, mental clarity, and cellular regeneration. The sensation can be likened to opening a window in a room that has been sealed and stagnant for far too long, allowing fresh air to pour in and completely revitalize the atmosphere. The flow of energy you unlock through this practice produces immediate, tangible effects in your daily life. Your mind, once clouded by the fog of chronic stress, begins to sharpen. Thoughts become clear, penetrating, and focused. Mental clarity that was once elusive in the midst of anxiety and fatigue becomes accessible again. Your capacity for sustained concentration increases dramatically, allowing you to focus on tasks for longer periods without distraction or mental exhaustion. Creativity, which thrives when the mind is relaxed and clear, also flourishes. Innovative thinking, which is often suppressed when your system is locked in survival mode, is able to emerge once more. You feel more embodied, more connected to your physical form and the world around you. The sensation of being trapped inside your own head, disconnected from life and the people around you, begins to dissolve. It is replaced by a felt sense of integration and wholeness radiating from the core of your being outward, enveloping your entire field. Understanding and directly experiencing this wave of energy is genuinely transformative. You begin to realize that vitality is not something you need to chase externally, nor something you need to purchase or achieve. It is something you can cultivate from within your own system. And once you truly understand this, the practice becomes even more powerful. By learning to apply this technique at key transition points throughout your day, you can fundamentally transform your quality of life, using your own biological design as the most potent instrument for managing your internal state. The essential practice now is about transforming this newfound knowledge into embodied ritual. Knowledge, no matter how profound, remains dormant potential until it is applied and integrated into your daily life. True sovereignty over your inner state doesn't come from executing this technique once or twice. It arises from making it part of your daily rhythm, turning it into a sacred personal practice. The foundation of self-healing and sustained nervous system regulation is consistency, the regular repetition of these practices until they become second nature. The most powerful moments to engage in this practice are during transition thresholds. These are the moments in between the different phases of your day, when you are moving from one activity to another, and your system may be experiencing stress buildup or emotional charge. These moments, when you shift from one task to the next, are precisely when stress accumulates or erupts most intensely. One of the key transition points is before sleep. For countless people, nighttime becomes a battleground. The moment their head touches the pillow, the mind that has been suppressed throughout the day suddenly bursts into activity, replaying concerns, rehearsing conversations, or scrolling through an endless mental list of to-dos. This happens because the sympathetic fight or flight system, which should have been deactivated during the day's end, remains engaged, preventing the body from fully relaxing. By activating the governing vessel 16 point for several minutes before lying down, you are sending a clear command to your entire system: the day is over. It is time to power down. Rest and recovery mode is now activated. This practice calms your nervous system and reduces circulating cortisol levels, preparing your body for deep restorative sleep cycles. The transition from wakefulness to sleep is often marked by restlessness and a sense of unfinished business, but with consistent application of this technique, the nervous system learns to initiate restoration instead of keeping you in a heightened state of alertness. Second crucial transition point. Most people's first instinct upon waking up is to reach for their smartphone. This single unconscious act can immediately flood the brain with emails, news alerts, social media notifications, and digital demands, activating your stress response before you even get out of bed. Instead of diving straight into this cycle, you can establish a new morning routine. Before reaching for your device, sit upright in bed and activate the governing vessel 16 point for 1 to 2 minutes. This practice isn't about inducing relaxation. It's about filling your system with coherent natural energy and calm presence. By doing this, you establish a foundation of centered awareness and conscious control that will set the tone for the day ahead. This grounding practice can help you avoid starting the day in a reactive state, empowering you to move through the day with a sense of calm clarity rather than rushing headlong into stress and overwhelm. The third and perhaps most crucial practice is for those acute stress peaks that inevitably arise throughout your day. These are the moments when anxiety begins to surge in your chest, when mental fatigue overwhelms you, and when it feels like you cannot think clearly. In these moments, your nervous system is in desperate need of intervention. Instead of reaching for another cup of coffee or trying to distract yourself with your phone, create a 1-minute sanctuary. Find a quiet space, whether it's a bathroom, an empty room, or even rotating your chair away from your workspace, and close your eyes. Activate the governing vessel 16 point for a minute. This is your emergency reset mechanism, your portable refuge requiring nothing external. Each time you repeat this practice, you are not just providing temporary symptom relief. You are physically strengthening and reinforcing the neural pathways connected to your vagus nerve. Consider it like creating a trail through a dense forest. The more you walk that path, the clearer and more accessible it becomes. Over time, your nervous system learns to access this state of calm with increasing ease and speed. Eventually, simply touching the point or even holding the intention to activate the pathway can be enough to shift your state. You are gradually reconditioning your automatic stress response, transforming it from an unconscious panic reaction into a conscious, regulated, and calm response. But something even more profound happens with dedicated practice. As you consistently strengthen the neurological connection and allow yourself to enter deep states of relaxation, you begin accessing older, deeper layers of your nervous system. Sustained practice begins to unlock not only the surface-level tension accumulated in the present day, but also older, more ingrained tensions and trauma that have been stored in your body for months, years, or even decades. And when this happens, something unexpected emerges, a release that transcends the usual stress of everyday life and reaches down into the deepest roots of your healing capacity. The hidden self-healing mechanism, long dormant, begins to activate. This is where the technique shifts from being a mere tool for stress management to becoming a profound gateway for self-healing. When you stimulate the governing vessel 16 point and breathe with conscious intention, you are engaging in a process far greater than simply relaxing tense muscles or quieting a busy mind. You are unlocking an archive living biological records stored not in digital files, but directly in your body's cells and tissues. Your body is a complete chronicle of your entire life experience, remembering everything, including what your conscious mind may have attempted to suppress or forget: traumas, emotional wounds, periods of intense chronic stress, unprocessed grief, and sorrow. When these experiences remain unresolved, they do not simply disappear. They become lodged in your nervous system as frozen energy, stored charge that never completed its cycle. These unresolved energies manifest as chronic tension in areas like your neck, shoulders, jaw, and upper back. This is the physical manifestation of your body's defensive posture, constantly braced for danger. This armor of chronic tension feels completely normal because it's something you've carried for so long. But in reality, it is a biological record of past threats, unresolved battles, and unhealed wounds. And now, through this practice, you have the power to release this old energy, heal these wounds, and bring your system back into a state of balance and vitality. Consistent, deep activation of the vagus nerve through the governing vessel 16-point functions as a master key, gradually unlocking the frozen energy that has been trapped in your body. By guiding your nervous system into a state of safety and profound relaxation, you allow it to finally process and release what has been buried for so long. This is why during or immediately after performing the practice, you may experience unexpected physiological responses that seem to come out of nowhere. You may feel a sudden, overwhelming urge to sigh deeply, yawn in a way that feels almost like a release from the depths of your soul, or even experience an unexpected surge of emotion, be it sadness, joy, or grief, without any conscious mental trigger. If these responses occur, do not resist or feel alarmed. On the contrary, welcome them as incredibly positive signs that your nervous system is actively engaged in its natural function of self-regulation and self-healing. Sighing is a natural way your body releases accumulated tension from your diaphragm and respiratory system. Yawning serves as a mechanism to regulate brain temperature and shift you into states of calm and alert presence. Tears, on the other hand, act as a biological pathway to release stress hormones and metabolize unresolved emotional material. Think of these responses as your body's memory system running a deep cleaning protocol. Just like a computer clearing corrupted files and making space for more data, your body is clearing out stored emotional charge and tension, restoring its systems for better coherence and function. This process is authentic self-healing unfolding in real time. It's not about positive affirmations or mentally forcing change, but about establishing the physiological conditions that allow your body's innate healing intelligence to operate as it was designed. In essence, you are stepping out of the way, ceasing to interfere, and allowing your organism's natural wisdom to restore equilibrium and wholeness. Healing at this foundational level is not about masking symptoms like headaches, fatigue, or insomnia with temporary fixes. It's about going deeper, releasing the root cause of the chronic tension, the unresolved emotional material that has been carrying forward in your body and mind, perpetually feeding the stress cycle. This is your body healing itself from the inside out, from the core to the surface. Each time one of these spontaneous releases occurs, whether it's a sigh, a yawn, or a tear, you become incrementally lighter, freer, and less burdened. You are shedding the invisible weight of unresolved past experiences that have been unconsciously shaping your reactions and responses in the present moment. This reconnection with your essential nature, free from the protective armor you built in response to past pain, prepares you for the next level of this work, where physiological healing merges with conscious intention, amplifying and directing the newly liberated energy. Pause for a moment and reflect. What tension or pattern are you ready to release right now? Speaking your intention into the field, even by commenting, amplifies your intention. and solidifies your commitment. You have accessed the biological mechanism, the hardware of your self-healing capacity. You have learned to activate the switch that calms your nervous system, releasing stored tension and trauma. Now it's time to install the software consciously harnessing the power of your awareness to guide and amplify this healing process. In ancient Egyptian wisdom, the deity Thoth, revered as the god of wisdom, magic, and sacred writing, taught that the spoken word, the vibration of intentional sound, is an act of creation itself. Reality is not merely something that happens to you. It is something you participate in co-creating through your thoughts, beliefs, and focused intentions. Healing becomes complete when the physical activation process is sealed with a clear mental directive. When you touch the governing vessel 16 point, it opens the doorway. Conscious breathing is the rhythm that allows you to pass through that doorway. But your spoken or internal word, your concentrated intention, is what determines what happens once you've entered. While performing the activation technique, particularly during the breath retention phase when pressure is sustained and your body is in a state of maximum receptivity, you can introduce a simple, clear, and focused command that aligns your conscious mind with the healing process your body has already initiated. This intentional command does not need to be elaborate or complex. In fact, simplicity amplifies its power. It could be as simple as saying, "I release all stored tension. Now I activate my body's healing intelligence." You could also silently speak the word release as you exhale. By doing this, you are unifying two immense forces within you, the innate biological intelligence of your physical body and the creative directive power of your conscious mind. Your chosen word or phrase becomes a mantra, a vibrational frequency that resonates through the vagus nerve pathways, reinforcing and magnifying the signal of calm clarity and active regeneration. Think of this process as programming a sophisticated computer system. The deep relaxation that the physical technique generates makes your subconscious mind extraordinarily receptive to new programming. In a typical stress state, your conscious mind is filled with static noise, resistance, and distractions. But in this deeply relaxed state, the critical gatekeeper of your rational mind softens, and your intentional directives can penetrate more deeply, reprogramming old patterns of thought and conditioned reactions that have contributed to your stress and anxiety cycles. You are no longer merely requesting relaxation. Instead, you are issuing a direct command for your own healing at the most fundamental level of your being. This practice of unifying physical touch, conscious breath, and focused intention fundamentally transforms your relationship with your own mind. You begin recognizing that you are not a helpless victim of your thoughts and mental patterns. Rather than being swept away by an endless current of worry and mental chatter, you learn to use your mind as a precision instrument, like a rudder for steering your internal experience. You shift from being a passive passenger in your life to becoming the conscious pilot of your own existence. This recognition of your own power and agency is itself one of the most potent remedies for anxiety, which primarily feeds on feelings of helplessness and lack of control. By practicing this integration consistently, you begin to observe that your external reality starts to mirror your new internal programming. You become less reactive to triggers and situations that previously destabilized you. You discover greater clarity and creative problem-solving abilities. When challenges arise, you feel more resilient, centered, and capable in the face of uncertainty and difficulty. This practice of consciously directing your own healing does not only change how you feel moment to moment, it fundamentally transforms how you perceive yourself and how you engage with your own body, leading to an even more profound shift in consciousness. Your body is no longer viewed as mere machinery. It becomes a sacred temple. The ongoing practice of activating the governing vessel 16 point, combined with conscious, intentional direction, inevitably catalyzes a radical transformation in how you perceive your physical form. Your body, which you may have previously treated as a vehicle that requires maintenance or even as an adversary that generates pain and limitation, begins to reveal itself as something infinitely more sacred. It ceases to be an object separate from you and instead becomes recognized as an integral part of your being, living, conscious, and intelligent. You begin to feel, on a cellular level, that your body is not just a vessel for your mind, but a living sanctuary that houses and expresses your essential self. The base of your neck, the governing vessel 16 point, stops being just an anatomical location and transforms into an altar, a sacred meeting point where mind and body, which have existed in conflict and separation for so long, can finally reunite in harmony and mutual devotion. Each conscious touch of this point becomes an act of reverence, a gesture of honoring. Each intentional breath becomes a silent prayer, an expression of gratitude for the extraordinary intelligence that sustains your life moment by moment without requiring your conscious oversight. You come to realize that healing is not something you impose upon your body. It is something you engage in as a partnership with your body's own wisdom. This shift in understanding dissolves the internal war, and the peace you've been desperately seeking in external achievements in the silence of the outer world, or in circumstances finally aligning perfectly, is revealed to be an inherent quality of your own being. It is a vibrational frequency you can access at any moment, simply by returning home to your temple, your body. This realization that genuine longevity, radiant health, and sustained well-being do not depend on accumulating possessions or escaping the noise and chaos of the external world becomes your new truth. And with this truth, you unlock a wellspring of inner peace, strength, and self-healing that can sustain you throughout the challenges of life. Through your ongoing practice, you discover that true vitality and well-being reside within you, waiting to be accessed and nurtured through conscious engagement with your body's inherent intelligence. They depend on learning to fully inhabit this living sanctuary with presence-loving care and deep respect. Anxiety and stress, once perceived as enemies to be fought and conquered, lose their grip on you. When you make this perceptual shift, they cease to be adversaries and transform into messengers, signals from your temple, indicating that something has fallen out of balance, that you've disconnected from your true presence and embodiment. Headaches, for instance, stop being curses to suppress with medication and instead become invitations. They invite you to pause, breathe consciously, and activate your calming point. Insomnia, once feared and dreaded, ceases to be a torment. It becomes an opportunity to release the accumulated tensions of the day and reconnect with the deep silence that resides within you. Over time, your body transforms into your most trusted ally and guide through life's journey. You begin to care for your temple in countless other ways: your choices around food, your need for movement and exercise, your desire for time in nature and moments of solitude. All of these decisions become increasingly intuitive and natural. You no longer engage in these practices out of external obligation or rigid discipline. Instead, they stem from a genuine sense of love and respect for this miraculous body that allows you to experience the gift of existence. The journey that began with the simple act of activating an anatomical point at the nape of your neck expands into a comprehensive philosophy of being. It is a way of moving through the world that is more integrated, conscious, and in harmony with life itself. And here is where the deepest wisdom crystallizes. The key to the temple, the key to your peace and power, was never lost or hidden from you. It has always existed within you, encoded into your biological structure, patiently waiting across years and decades for you to remember where to look for you, to turn your attention inward. With sudden clarity, you realize that everything you need to heal yourself, access peace, and live with radiant vitality already exists within you. This realization is not an ending. It is the true beginning of your path towards self-mastery and conscious living. This knowledge now rests in your hands, not as abstract philosophy or a theoretical concept, but as a practical and applicable technology. You hold the key, a biological switch that can transform your entire internal state within seconds. The ancient wisdom that has been passed down through generations and the discoveries of modern neuroscience now converge upon a single undeniable truth. The power to heal yourself exists literally within your own body, your own head, waiting to be consciously activated by you. The endless search for external solutions, for pharmaceutical fixes, for teachers and gurus to save you from yourself can end here and now. Responsibility and power return to where they have always rightfully belonged, with you. You no longer depend on anything or anyone external to access a moment of genuine peace amidst the chaos and noise of existence. Your body has been safeguarding this secret for you since the moment of your birth. Every time you touch this point, breathe with intention and direct your conscious, where you are transmitting the most powerful message to every cell of your being. I trust my capacity to heal myself. I am in conscious control. I am the sovereign guardian of my own temple. This affirmation, reinforced through physical action and measurable neurological response, begins to rewrite the unconscious stories of powerlessness and victimhood that you may have carried for years or even decades. The governing vessel's 16-point will not abandon you. It will not disappear. It will remain there at the base of your skull, like an anchor, a silent ally, perpetually available to serve you in moments of acute stress, exhaustion, or sleepless nights. It stands as living proof that you are never truly helpless, even when the external world appears chaotic and beyond your control. You always possess a place to return to, a sanctuary within where you can restore your calm, reclaim your clarity, and reconnect with your essential strength. Your security and stability no longer depend on external circumstances aligning perfectly. They reside in your capacity to consciously regulate your own internal system. Your life does not fundamentally transform when the world around you becomes peaceful and quiet. That is the illusion most people chase endlessly. Your life genuinely transforms when you awaken the hidden power that has existed dormant within you since birth, waiting for this moment of recognition. True freedom is not the absence of external challenges and difficulties. True freedom is the presence of internal sovereignty, the embodied knowledge that you can meet whatever arises from a place of centered calm and conscious choice. If you have stayed with this transmission up to this point, you are no longer the same person who began watching. You now possess knowledge that remains hidden from most of humanity. You hold the key to a power that has always existed within you, waiting to be remembered and reclaimed. Consider returning to this practice each morning. Activate this point before your day begins, setting your nervous system's frequency before the world tries to set it for you. And if you know someone trapped in the cycle of anxiety and stress, share this with them. When you transmit this knowledge outward, you are not just helping them, you are reinforcing your own neural pathway of healing. You create a ripple in the collective field that returns to you multiplied. Comment below with one word that captures the shift you're experiencing right now. Let that word become your energetic signature in this moment, signaling to me that you've completed this journey of discovery. Take a moment and comment below with the phrase, "I found the secret button." Let that declaration ripple outward as evidence of your awakening. If this transmission resonated deeply with you and you wish to support this work more directly, there is an option to contribute in the first pinned comment below. Any support you choose to offer is profoundly important to me and to the continued growth of this channel, allowing me to continue creating and sharing transmissions like this one. But understand this clearly: the simple fact that you stayed present until the end already contributes immensely to this work. If you feel called, share this video with someone in your life who needs to receive this message. And before you go, recognize that your journey does not end here. What you've activated today is just one element of a much larger healing system. In my next transmission, Thoth's 3 Forbidden Elements for Complete Healing, I reveal the 2 additional elements that ancient wisdom keepers guarded as sacred secrets elements that, when combined with what you've learned today, create total mind-body-spirit integration. The screen will show you where to go next.